I'm John LAUGHLAND, lecturer in political science and history at ESESS, the Catholic Institute of the Vendée in Western France. ESESS is a private Catholic university founded 30 years ago in the Vendée in Western France. It has 2,000 students and is a member of the grandes écoles in France, which is to say of the schools in France, the universities in France committed to excellence. And it has a strong ethic of academic freedom, freedom of thought and critical thinking. Students are supported by close proximity to professors, most of whom in fact come from outside and who in many cases have had external careers. The European School of Government is a political science degree offered by ESESS, the Catholic Institute of the Vendée. It's the only political science degree in France to be taught completely in English, and it offers a traditional education in political science, political philosophy, regional studies for students who do not necessarily know French. They'll be able to learn French if they come here, but it's not required that they speak French. On the contrary, the course is taught in English and all the exams will be entirely in English. So we're looking for students who have an independent mind, who are capable of critical thinking, who are looking for a classical education, not contaminated by ideology or other fashionable movements, but instead students who really want to learn about the great classics of political philosophy and who are capable of thinking for themselves. We will encourage them to think of themselves, but of course we hope that they're capable of thinking of themselves when they arrive here. So ESESS prides itself on its academic excellence, on the cultivation of critical thinking, of free thinking, on original thinking. And because ESESS is a relatively small university, there is a great proximity between professors and students. Many of the professors come from outside. Many of them have had careers in other areas. Some of them are academics, some of them have come from business or from the private sector. And there is a particularly friendly atmosphere, I would say, here. It's very much a university on a human scale. So the European School of Government's degree course consists of research seminars, which are the sort of framework for the whole program. And by seminars I mean English or American style seminars with a high degree of exchange between students and professors. Then there are obligatory courses which all students have to follow, and optional courses which they can choose. There's a large choice, and according to their interests, students can choose the optional courses that they want. And then over the 3-year degree period, students will also have to complete a bachelor's thesis, a bachelor degree thesis, again on a subject of their choice. And in addition to that, there are regular conferences held on matters of topical interest at ESESS. So what we aim to encourage in this degree course is critical thinking, original thinking, rigorous analysis both of contemporary political events and also of the classics of political philosophy. We're looking for students who have a taste for independent thought and who want to understand the world as it really is. Not to get bogged down in ideology or in other fashionable things, but instead to develop their analytical and critical faculties to help them understand the very complex world that we live in. So the teaching staff at ESESS is composed of a relatively small number of permanent lecturers and professors and a large number, over 200 external lecturers who come in many cases from far away because they appreciate the specific qualities of ESESS, they appreciate the specific ethos of the university. And those external lecturers typically have careers in other areas. Many of them teach in other universities. Some of them come from the private sector, others come from government or the military or whatever. But it means that the teaching staff in ESESS has a very, very broad reach. People are united by a dedication, as I say, to the ethos of the place, and that's what gives it its very specific, friendly and human qualities, but they are geographically and in other ways from a very diverse backgrounds. So the course consists of about 15 hours of lectures a week, and of course students are expected to use the remaining time for their own reading which will be in large measure encouraged by the professors. And the goal then is to mix lectures, some of which are obligatory, some of which are optional, with private research and private study within the context of a 3-year course in which the students are required to write a bachelor's thesis. So all students have to obviously have a high fluency in English. They have to have the baccalaureate or the abitur or whatever the equivalent is from around the world, and they should send their applications into ESESS, and those applications will be studied, and places will be awarded on the basis of merit. So a number of our professors come from abroad. I could mention Gert Morgenthaler, one of Germany's leading constitutionalists, Paul Soret from the University of Ottawa, Aaron McKeel from the London School of Economics, Andrei Kapardis from the University of Cambridge, Michaelis Sarlis from the University of Athens, and David Engels, who will be directing one of the research seminars based in Poznan in Poland, who is one of Europe's leading intellectuals on the state of Western civilization. These names that I've mentioned are just some of the scores of professors who are part of the teaching body of the European School of Government. So the European School of Government hopes to become a reference point throughout Europe, and we hope in the wider world, for academic excellence, academic freedom, and a political science education firmly rooted in the highest standards of rigor and academic performance.